Hello, and thank you for participating in our Shop Local Now podcast. I'm your host, Carrie Ann Stevenson, and I am thrilled to interview today Heather from My Medical Vacations. I am so excited to interview you today, Heather. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Carrie Ann.
So I'd love to hear your story. What was your procedure at My Medical Vacations?
Well, Carrie Ann, I've actually had 8 procedures.
Wow.
Starting with, I had abdominoplasty, had a thigh lift, had a mastopexy, had a brachiopexy, which is your arms, had my saggy chin taken care of. I treated myself to a little mini facelift for my loose skin around my face. And I came down this last time to complete the surgery for my legs, so it was what's called a vertical thigh lift.
Wow, my goodness.
My 8th one is kind of just a little correction to a problem I had with one of my past surgeries.
Okay, and what was the problem?
Well, you can't always guarantee 100% that things are going to heal. I went home with things healing very well after a breast reconstruction. Unfortunately, the incision opened and it kind of left a nasty scar, but the implant shifted a bit. So the surgeon I had here was very upset by it, as well as I was. And when things were healed and I decided to come back to have my thighs finished, he went ahead and corrected the issues for me at his cost.
Wow, wow. So because of, human healing and everything, there's no predictions and that sort of thing, but they really made sure that, you got satisfaction guarantee for your surgery, yes?
Oh, 100%, yes.
That's really wonderful. Now, may I ask why you chose My Medical Vacations?
I chose My Medical Vacations because I have a background in nursing and in operating room nursing.
Wow.
So I couldn't afford the procedures that I needed to have done in Ontario. It was just impossible for me after I lost 250 pounds and I couldn't do it. So I knew I could not go through life with all that excess skin, and I started to shop around. I was told Mexico had a very up-and-coming, place to go for surgery. So I did shop around and talked to a few companies, and when I talked to My Medical Vacations, I was very impressed with the answers to my questions. They sounded very reasonable. The costs that were quoted to me were very affordable. I made sure I didn't tell anyone I was a nurse, never mind an OR nurse. And they explained things to me so I could understand. If I was a layman, I could have understood absolutely everything. There's a rapport that you build up with the people when you're deciding to do this, and I just felt very comfortable and confident that it was the right choice. So I made the leap of faith, and here I am.
That's really, really wonderful to hear. Being a nurse and being experienced in the operating room, knowing exactly what kind of procedures you're going through, it's really nice to hear, the assurance that, there are so many negative connotations to, services outside of Canada, but it's not like TV. It's safe and affordable, and, you're able to get, a really good experience at a reasonable cost.
Very definitely, and if you're too young to remember this, but anyone who remembers the hospitals in the 70s and 80s where they were clean and spotless and spick and span, that's the type of hospital you're walking into in Mexico.
Wow, wow. So would you mind telling me your experience, your favorite experience that you've experienced at My Medical Vacations?
I think just the fact that from the moment you step off the plane until the moment you leave to go back home, you're never alone. You never feel alone. I was fortunate enough in some of my procedures that I did have family with me at times. And again, they were treated as if they were part of the extended family. Anything they needed or wanted, that was taken care of for them as well. So you feel very comfortable and you never feel that you're down here all alone, because so many people do come alone for cosmetic procedures. You don't want everyone to know what you're doing.
It is a personal thing, and I really appreciate you telling us your story. And I love hearing the sort of the private hospital, high-end Toronto experience, but still being able to relax and recoup in beautiful Cancun.
Oh, exactly. I mean, it's beautiful, the weather. There's no snow. We've had a little bit of rain, but I can cope with rain. And I just found down in Ottawa the other day it was a whole 10 degrees and it was only 32 degrees Celsius here, so I didn't mind.
Yeah, you're not missing out on Ontario weather too.
No, no, not at all.
Well, Heather, I want to thank you so very much for telling us your story and your experiences. How's the staff treating you?
The staff are phenomenal. You have a well, they say a medical concierge, but I have to admit I have more than one. You have a nurse that comes to see you every single day. Um, the hotel I'm in where the My Medical Vacations is located at this point, I can wave to them from the hotel. So if I really needed anything and I jumped up and down, I'm sure somebody would see me. But they check in on you, you know. I am a Facebook fan, so we message. If I need anything, I'm on Messenger and it's answered right away. Somebody besides the nurse that comes to see you, I'll give my plug to Anna. There's Betty or Katie, or there's just always somebody available.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Exactly, and Andreas, who's here with me, who's the boss here, he's great. I mean, he came over the other day. I was sitting out on the patio, and we just sat and talked. So you never feel like you've been deserted or you're left alone.
That's wonderful. That's really wonderful. And I love hearing that you're a nurse with this experience, being able to trust and know that it's a wonderful private service compared to Canadian hospitals, that you're a number there. Here in Cancun, you're practically family.
You are. You're a person, and I mean, anything you want. Say I was here and now I've decided I would like to see, say, a dentist or see somebody about another procedure that I might be thinking of. That can all be arranged very quickly while you're still here, so it's not, oh, now I have to come down again just to be, have a consult, which is nice to know.
So incredible. Now, please tell me, you were mentioning when we were chatting before, Ontario, people who have gone through these procedures in Ontario, some of them end up, on disability because of this?
Well, I think we're still new in Ontario. We are now paying, as in the OHIP is covering bariatric surgery for weight loss. Mm-hmm. You have to fit into a very specific criteria. You have to go at least 6 months worth of programs and teachings before you qualify to have the surgery. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, after the surgery, and people are losing massive amount of weight. I mean, I lost 240, 250 pounds. There are people losing 400 pounds. We don't have an outlet to have the skin removal surgery unless you fit very specific criteria, diabetic, something like if the skin would break down, you'd be in big trouble. I didn't fit into that. So there's a minimum of a 2-year waiting period, and you just continually apply to OHIP to see if you get approved or not. Mm-hmm. That puts your whole life on hold. I know some people that have gone through the program and lost massive amount of weights, haven't been approved, and have had to go on disability because they can't function at a job anymore carrying 200 or 300 pounds of excess skin around.
And being able to have a positive and affordable alternative in Cancun to be able to live a healthier and happier lifestyle. Exactly. Fabulous, Heather. Heather, I want to thank you so much for informing us of your wonderful experience at My Medical Vacations.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And I want to thank everyone for listening to Shop Local Now podcast. Make sure to check out Shop Local Now for all your local shopping needs. And please check out mymedicalvacations.com. They're on Facebook and Twitter. And I want to thank everyone for listening today. Thank you again, Heather.
Thank you, Carrie Ann.
And everyone have a great day. Bye-bye.